That's why I'm always very cautious when people are very, very, very kind and try to take the truth and make it nice and twist it by that. And by that, they lie essentially because they alter the truth to be more digestible in a way. But by doing that, they change what it really is, the direct brutality. Hello, everyone. You might see today, this is in camera for a change. So this is a celebration of the 10,000 subscribers. I'm quite excited that we achieved that goal. Really, really happy. So stay tuned because now the journey is just about to start. Like I'm gonna push now a little bit differently. You get more live content. That is a little reward for you guys. But also I'm gonna involve you now a bit more into the adventures which I have. And I can assure you my life is a hell of an adventure. I'm always breaking out all the time, always on the edge of everything. It's gonna be a lot of fun and you guys can join me. So yeah, thank you very much on that and let's get started. Oh, also as a reminder that I'm gonna do a 10,000 subscriber special. It's currently in the works, that's why things get a bit delayed, but it's gonna be worth it. So stay tuned about it. So today's episode is about truth. And this topic is quite important for me personally, because I want you to understand that you cannot afford to lie, or you cannot afford to lie a lot. It's impossible. You're gonna screw up big way, and you're gonna have to rewind and start over your whole life again and again until you get this thing right. So it's crucial that no matter what you do in life, no matter where you go, no matter what you do in terms of self-cultivation, you need to cultivate truth and honesty. If you screw that up, you will not get anywhere. And we will go not just in this topic itself, we will also go in this topic in a deeper sense of religions, because the Christians have pieces of this, the Buddhists have pieces of this, so stay tuned. So today's episode comes actually from a business interaction I just had a few days ago. And what happened was actually that the guy lied to me, and I found out. That's always the problem when you lie. Someone in the end will always find out. It will haunt you no matter what you do. And he got a hit from it. It's gonna impact him. It's gonna impact his business. And he definitely will have to start maybe all over again with his online account because he got hit by this. And that is so crucial why I tell you that this guy screwed up. And you should not screw up yourself. It's dangerous. Because every time you get caught, everything crumbles down and the whole thing starts anew. So that is the motivation. Now, life is an amazing but incredibly hard experience. And it is so because naively, it looks like a prison colony. What I'm talking about is that imagine a box where you throw in all the people you have, all the living beings, whatever. And then you introduce a rule to make conflict, which is that you need to eat each other in order to survive. And that is, in simple terms, what life is. We need to eat animals or plants or whatever, or they eat us. That's just how the whole thing works. So you want to have conflict. And the only way through or out is by learning lessons. And one lesson of those lessons is to be truthful. You cannot get through this thing halfway in a healthy way if you are not truthful. So see, if you lie, which we all do because we are all in a way sinners, but that's a different story, because if you go down deep into the rabbit hole, you figure out that there is truth, but there is not truth. You cannot grasp it, but it's another story. But if you lie, it will surface. Lies are pretty obvious. Truth is hard to catch, but lies are really, really, really easy to catch. And you cannot hide forever, especially not from women. They always find out in the end. No. But do your best to make truth a habit. And also in business, because you see, lies always come out. And I witness that often, that some people, they have even wishful thinking. And wishful thinking is really dangerous, because also wishful thinking can turn really quickly into gaslighting and lying. So you see, it's quite tough, because sometimes you fool yourself And then you lie too, and you think you tell the truth, but actually you're just fooling yourself. So that is the hard part, to get down to also the lies which you tell yourself. That is actually what makes all the difference. If you figure out where you lie to yourself and make it better, that is a big, big piece of cultivating yourself and increasing your self-value. The big problem is, if you start lying, you lose everything. You lose integrity, you lose honesty, and that is everything. So you see, when you don't lie, you build that up, bap, 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 bap. But the moment you lie once, it's gone. You can't be trusted anymore. You violated the rule of all rules. And now you're back to zero, and you need to start over again. And it's a bit like one of those hardcore video games, which I'm not playing, but I know about, that you play very long, you really give it all, and you screw up once. That's it. Sorry, start over again. And that's life. That's the prison colony. Learn your lesson. Oh, on the way, you screw up. Okay, back to zero. Start all over again. So it's quite hard, because if you screw up with lies, your reputation is bad. And also you suffer internally from that. Because you need to keep track all the time who you lie to, how, and if they could find out, and you need to twist it and shape it. But in the end, it's gonna catch you, no matter what you do. And from this weird notion that if we lie, we need to start all over again with our integrity and honesty, it seems a bit like there's a person sitting above us, above our reality, or whatever this is. It seems like it just. And that person wants to teach us a lesson, that every time we screw up and we give into our darker side, we need to start over again and try next life. Okay. And that is why there is this Christian notion that there is a God above us, who wants to teach us a lesson. And I really want to emphasize, it's like a perceived persona of God. I'm not discussing if there is a God or not, but you can see where this is coming from, right? And this persona of God has a bit the persona of a parent loving their children. And once, like a parent telling the children that this is the lesson, but every time you fail, parent sees it. And it lets you know, and it exposes it in the end, in some way. You're gonna suffer from it in some way. And that is such a miraculous thing going on in nature, that this happens always. Even if the lies are not directly found out, you yourself know it, and you're gonna suffer from it. It doesn't matter in which way, but I still believe that every lie will come out in the end. You cannot hide that stuff forever. It's just absolutely impossible. And it's quite interesting that out of this sense, that lies get exposed, God arises in a way. So the lesson taught by God is the truth will set you free. That is the lesson behind it, behind truth. Because you don't need to remember anymore who you told what, to which business partner you said which things, or to your partner even. It doesn't matter, or to friends. So truth is freedom. Freedom of energy. Because you see, the truth slices through everything like warm butter. I had business meetings where people lied, and one person just comes and tells the truth, how he sees things. And you know it the moment you see it. You know it, it's the truth. It goes through everything like without resistance. It doesn't even matter. It's incredible when you see the truth exposed. And even if people attack you or try to, twist things and whatsoever, no one can hide from it forever. They might twist it for a bit, but the truth will just come out and slice right through the whole thing. And what I really like about truth is it exposes you also to the brutality of life. It's not nice, the truth. So you see, being too kind is similar to lying almost. That's why I'm always very cautious when people are very, very, very kind and try to take the truth and make it nice. and twisted by that. And by that, they lie essentially because they alter the truth to be more digestible in a way. But by doing that, they change what it really is, the direct brutality. That, for example, people say being vegan is kinder to life. And I would say both kill to eat. Is it different? Yes. But you know, you cannot survive without killing. It just doesn't work that way. If you want firewood in winter, you need to chop trees. If you want to survive, you need to eat plants or you need to eat animals. You can choose which way to go. And there's for sure different ways where you can do things more gracefully in many directions. But the truth is just brutally, you need to kill to eat. And you see, there's no fuzzing around that. No cuddly being nice. No lies being told that we need to be kind to each other. Yes, we need to be. But we cannot do it all the time, you see. So to get back to chopping the trees, why we need to kill to survive, right? How can you do that differently, maybe? More gracefully? And I always like to say, it's not about often what you do, it's more important how you do it, okay? You can kill with respect. You can chop a tree with respect. You can handle plants with respect. You can even hunt animals with respect. And it's crucial that you keep in your heart, deep, deep down, the love you have for everything and the respect for their sacrifice to let you carry on. That you realize that you do it only because of the rules of the game. You don't do it because you deem them less worth. You don't judge them. You don't hate them. All you do is you keep down in your heart, if the rules would be different, I would not do this. But this is the game. These are the rules. And you become a part of me and let me carry on. So thank you very much for that sacrifice. And please don't, in terms of a spiritual way almost, that you have just a sentiment inside of yourself. You don't need to necessarily believe it, but that you have the sentiment that you value the spirit of the other and say, please don't have a grudge against me. I really don't mean it. And that is quite valuable. If you carry that in your heart, also against people you have conflicts with, even if they're narcissists or whatever, and they did terrible things to you or whatever, keep that in your heart that deep, deep down, I love you. And the reason why we can't get along to each other might be just because these are the rules of the game. And it's totally fine still, but I don't want to spend time with you. So last but not least, I still want to give you guys always the closing of the circle. Because it always points everything in one direction, but you need to understand that everything is more a circular nature. So you see, life is not really a prison. It's just, it seems like a prison. Because from us humans out, if we look at it, we could easily judge or project it as a prison. But you see, if you look at it from different angles, it also looks a bit more like a game. If you go more into the top view, it looks more like a game. You can imagine like two fingers on your hand which fight. And you see, if I do this, it's silly, right? It's just a game. I play with my fingers. That is why I always like this analogy I had with the tree, that you need to realize that there are two different leaves, but they are from the same tree. And it's the same with the fingers and they fight. But the problem is, we as the fingers get so invested in this fight. It's so much fun and it grabs us so strongly that we take it extremely seriously. And what happens by that is that the parent actually became the child. The parent plays and is so invested in playing and becomes a child. And that is us. We are the child. We are the parent who became the child. So you need to understand that there's always both. There's always the child and there's always the parent view. And that is also for me a big learning lesson I had on my more spiritual part journey is you are the child. You are not the parent. And you see many spiritual people, they try to stay in this perfect world and in the harmony and so forth. You cannot hold that energy all the time. And I don't say you should not integrate these learnings you have inside of your life. That is actually a big challenge. But what I'm talking about is that you are not the parent. You can't be the parent who has this divine nature and divine actions. It's not for us. We are humans. We are the children. And our game is to be the child who grows up into the adult. That is fine. But we are not the adult. The moment we become the adult, we die. We can't become the adult for as long as we are the human. Because the human is the play. We grab this body, this reality, what we see, what we believe we are. You see, so we need to let go. And once we let go, then we can become the parent. So thank you very much for listening. I hope you enjoyed the episode about truth. There's a lot more to say as usual, but I tried to keep it short. And also let me know in the comment section what experiences you had with truth and how things came out. Maybe also in relation with other people would be quite interesting. And otherwise, stay tuned. Like I said, I am still work on the special. It's going to be nice. It's going to be something I've never shown before. I always kept to myself. It's one of my private treasures, I would say. So showing that off is very unusual because most people, I have friends known me for years. I have never shown them anything like that, some part of myself. So yeah, stay tuned and see you soon.